into the Danny, March 28th, 2026, and we're here in Atlanta. Today, we're gonna be going to one of my favorite shows. If it's not my favorite show, it's certainly number 2. Gotta do my ranking eventually on the Danny cut, but certainly one of my favorite shows of all time. We're here at the first location. To me, it's just one of those shows that reminds you of when you were younger. It's a show that was intense, filled with drama, filled with adventure. So, without further ado, and the show, of course, that I'm talking about, see if you can recognize this shot. It's a very important shot in the show, and you see it all the time. Cue the music. Let's go see some Walking Dead locations. Like and subscribe. All right, it's a brisk 47 degrees here on an early Sunday morning in Atlanta, Georgia. Just want to say this. Atlanta is a great city for me to just in my opinion, to shoot a movie. It's got a lot of cool looking areas. So this bird's awake for sure. Yeah, gotcha, huh? All right, let's go to the second location. You saw the famous iconic shot from the opening credits of The Walking Dead. So on to location number 2. See what I mean about this city being a great city for a movie? I mean, look at this shot right here. Rough, rugged, urban. I like it. Very, very cool. It's got a lot of character, this city. See? And a nice crime drama. Okay, we're now approaching our second location. We're now approaching our second location. Like I said, boy, Atlanta's, it's a weird city. You go from sort of a rough area to a real nice area really quick. But let's see if you can recognize this location coming up. Okay, here's our second location. If you guessed this is the home of Rick in season 1, you are correct. For this channel, we're gonna be focusing pretty much on season 1. It's probably my favorite season. I would have to go revisit the show, but it's the iconic season. It's the one that started everything. And this is where they filmed the Rick's scenes and when he got out of the hospital. Before I talk a little bit about the home, here's the area where it's on. This is the area where the home is located. I'm going to read off Google here. The Grimes family home serves as one of the most emotional landmarks in The Walking Dead. It is here where the reality of the apocalypse, and see here's more of the area. Let's go back to the home. Finally hits Rick, not through a monster, but through the silence of an empty hallway. The house is located in the historic Grant Park neighborhood of Atlanta. It is a beautiful Victorian-style home built in 1897. Wow, that's incredible. Its wraparound porch and classic Americana look were essential for establishing Rick as a small-town hero. It remains a private residence. During the height of the show's popularity, it became a massive tourist destination. The owners eventually had to request privacy from the Walker crowds. Why this particular house was chosen, production designer Greg Melton and director Frank Darabont, by the way, one of my top 10 directors of all time and director of my favorite film of all time. I'm not going to reveal it because I'm going to do a list on the Danny Cut. But if you know Frank Darabont's movie, you know what movie I'm talking about. Wanted a location that felt grounded and timeless. Emotional contrast. The house looks like the American dream. Seeing it weathered, empty, and surrounded by unalived created a jarring visual contrast that highlighted how much the world had changed while Rick was in his coma in the hospital. Proximity to action. The house is situated right across from a park, Grant Park. I'm going to show you that now. This allowed the production to film Rick's homecoming and his discovery of the bicycle girl. Wow, I didn't know that. Walker in the same general vicinity, keeping the pilots pacing tight. And then let me come over here. And here we have the historic Grant Park, which I believe it's over here. Yeah, it's over here. So it's straight ahead. See, I can cross the street. Get over to Grant Park. Get over there now. Making my way over to Grant Park, which is funny because there's Grant Park. I think it's over there because over here is the Atlanta Zoo. So you know what? Let me make my way over here better. But again, what I noticed with the Stranger Things that I filmed yesterday, those locations, and The Walking Dead, two great shows. I think Walking Dead's a little bit better, but you know, around the 4 or 5 season mark, it kind of started to go downhill. Frank Darabont was no longer involved, which it showed. But it's kind of the same thing happened to Game of Thrones. But I will tell you this, it's very interesting to me how directors, the great directors, the Duffer Brothers with Stranger Things, Frank Darabont, the time he was involved with the show, and then I'm forgetting the guy from Game of Thrones. Somebody remind me in the comments if you can. But it's crazy how everything is tied to the emotion and to the story of the show, like the Stranger Things, that neighborhood. It's so interesting how it has sort of a beautiful look, a majestic look, if I could say that, but also how it feels eerie when you're on that street. I was there in the late evening, so the sun was kind of starting to go down. But yeah, it's funny how you feel how it ties into the show. Same thing with Rick's house here with The Walking Dead. I feel like it was an excellent choice, and obviously, I mean, the show was a huge hit. But yeah, it's just interesting how that home does represent sort of the perfect American, just, you know, Victorian Americana home for somebody that is about to lose it all. And Rick, obviously. I keep seeing there's car. There's nobody in. Oh, there is, but he's not. This guy's asleep in the car. There's a guy asleep in the car in the passenger side. There's no one driving it. Okay, so that lady you see walking on the other side of the street, I asked her where Grant Park was, so she said it is the other way. So I was going the right way in the beginning, and she said, yeah, that Grant Park is part of the zoo. So we'll get a little quick overview shot of Grant Park. But super cool to see Rick's house. Now we're going to our third location where it's another house. I'll give you a hint. Season 1, a little more action in this house. The Walking Dead premiered in 2010. Can't even believe that, man. It's been 16 years. But they're still making spin-offs and whatnot. But it's funny how most people, they don't even really look at what you're doing because they know what you're here for. So that's cool. Well, there goes Rick's house. See you later. Okay, here's the historic Grant Park. I thought it was the entrance to the Atlanta Zoo, which the lady I spoke with said it is, so I guess they're both the same. But yeah, here it is. Nothing special. So let's get in the car, and we're gonna go now through our third location. So this is actually a little bit cooler, this location, compared to Rick's house. This is Morgan's house from season 1. The character that Rick teams up with. Basically, from what my notes say here on the Google, says here, in season 1, Morgan's house, the Drake house, is arguably the most important location after the hospital because it serves as Apocalypse's 101 classroom for both Rick and the audience. While Rick's house represents his lost past, Morgan's house represents the brutal reality of his future. Here is why the specific house was so relevant to season 1. And then if you can tell here, this is where all the zombies were outside. And Morgan, sadly, I remember that scene. That was a rough scene. Where he has to see his wife, who has already turned into a zombie. Look at his son. Very nice. And he snipes her, I think from one of the top, I think he opens up one of those shingles up there, or from the window, I'm not sure, but this is where all the zombies are. They're all out here in the street, roaming around all night and day. Yeah, I remember the street made like a T. So yeah, this street makes a T. Very cool. When Rick wakes up from his coma, he is completely delusional, walking into his own home expecting to find his family. Morgan's house is where the delusion ends. The rules. Inside this house, Morgan explains the mechanics of the world, that the unalived are walking, that a bite causes a fever, that the fever unalives you before you turn. The reality check. Morgan has to physically restrain Rick and prove he isn't a walker, which is the audience's first look at how survivors have to be suspicious of everyone. Yeah, so this is super cool. I'm gonna take a picture in front of it now, but super, super cool. Guys, here's another look before we move on to the next location, the third location, at Morgan's block in the show. This Grand Park is beautiful, I gotta tell you. Okay, we're now here on, let me see what the name of the street is. Camp Belton Fairburn Road. This is the location, the rural location. It's a little bit busier today as opposed to 2009, 2010, where Rick comes upon all the cars and all the cars all broken down. And I think the famous scene involves a young person who's already turned into a walker. One of my favorite shots in season 1, episode 1. And then here's the gas station. Here it is. Here it is today. I'll go and show you that now. But yeah, this is it. I'll put the clip in that I'm talking about. But one of my favorite shots of the whole season and of the whole franchise, the franchise's run. So Rick is basically walking down here, if I'm seeing this correctly, and the entire gas station is full of cars. I'm actually watching the clip right now. He's in his cowboy hat. And yeah, Rick is basically walking down here. All the cars are piled up everywhere, and he just doesn't know what's going on. He's still wearing his hat, his his police uniform. All the cars are scattered all through here, and it's quiet. It's eerily quiet. That's the best part about that scene. He pulls up in his police car, and the gas station, which is this gas station right here, is completely empty. You don't know what's going on. And again, see all the cars are piled up over here. That's really cool. You kind of notice these little things. And you're just like, he's kind of like wondering what's going on. Then he hears a noise, right? A noise, and he looks under the car and sees what he sees. Let's go in the gas station, see if they got anything. Okay, guys, here's the exterior of the gas station today. More, it's more populated, it's busier. I mean, it's been over 15, 16 years since the show was filmed, but still cool to come out here and see what it looks like and why they chose this area. I can see why they chose it. It's rural, has this big gas station that's kind of benign looking. It doesn't have, You know, it's not like a 7-Eleven or something like that. So I can see why they chose this location. While, and I'm going to read off the Google here. While the scene does not appear, this scene that we're now exploring in the original comics, it serves critical cinematic functions. Number one, it established the new normal. The gas station setting is a quintessential slice of Americana, a symbol of mobility and civilization. By presenting it as littered, silent graveyard of abandoned cars, Darabont immediately communicates the total collapse of society. The no gas signs and the makeshift camp nearby tell a story of desperation without a single line of dialogue. Goes on to talk about how the little girl plays a role in further entrenching you in the world, what the world has become. You know, obviously seeing a little girl become a walker is tragic, and it's kind of like the worst of the worst scenario. Again, another reason that they chose it, according to Google, is that sort of the isolation, the visuals of the open roads and whatnot. But this area seems to be a little bit busier nowadays, but I guess back then it wasn't. Goodbye, Atlanta. As we see here, a really cool icon. We're here at the Woodbury shop located directly in front of me. This, by many Walking Dead fans online, is considered the unofficial museum, gift shop here in the town of Senoia, Georgia. It's about 45 minutes south of downtown Atlanta. Excuse me. Quaint little town, very, very, very picturesque. And yeah, we're gonna go in the shop. I'm a little pressed for time, but yeah, we'll go in the shop. Maybe we'll peek into Main Street just to see it quickly. But let's do it. That's a cool tattoo shop, Cornerstone Tattoo. Go down there and go get your tattoo. Okay, we approach the Woodbury shop. Here it is. Come on in. This is it. All right, let's see. Let's walk on in. Oh, this is definitely a Walking Dead place. Holy smokes. Oh, wow. Big shop. Some shirts here. Got some posters and stuff. Very cool. All right, let's take a look at some of the memorabilia and some of the stuff they sell. Got a version of a replica of Rick's bag there. Here we got some shirts. Definitely gonna buy one. You guys know that. Thing is that I really don't want to buy a black shirt because I have so many movie and television black shirts that I'm kind of tired of buying black. But it's Walking Dead, so it's like you gotta kind of buy black. Super cool. I will shut that shit. That's a good one. All right, look at that one right there. Gonna pick something up for Melissa too. Look at this. I got here some little books, and of course you got the Funko Pops right here. $10. Oh, look at that. That's pretty cool. Rick's sheriff car. $24. Nice. Got some shot glasses here. Some cups down here. Very cool. Oh, look at this. A nice little picture frame you can buy, or a nice set of cups. Very cool. Oh, look, some mugs. Oh, this is a cool one right here. Look at this one. Walking Dead AMC. Super cool. Got Rick's son right here. Just look at the flowers. Wow, you got some pictures here. Wow, I'm sure these are all autographed by the stars of the show, which they are. Super cool. I think I might get Melissa this shirt right here. I know, see how much they go for, but that's a cool shirt. That's a cool shirt down there too. Good old Glenn, poor Glenn, saved Rick in season 1, but ultimately met his demise. Oh, these would be cool for like a little man cave. I might buy one of these because I am looking to set up my little section, or my filming section in my garage for the Danny cut. So I might actually buy one of these to put up. But which one should I get? Dixon Road, Reedus Ave, Negan, Street Grimes Drive. I don't know. I'm thinking of Senoia, Georgia, or Zombie. I'll see which one I choose before I leave. I like these down here too. Easy, dead end, Horrorville, population 5. All right, we're in luck. So the Main Street area, which is right out here, is the main street they use for seasons 2 and 3. And I'm gonna go to a cool spot. It's the railroad right here. And that railroad is the railroad they used for the first couple of seasons, when you see them walking along a railroad or whatever it is. So cool. Guys, here we have more memorabilia. We got some toys here. Get that signed by one of them, probably be worth something. We have a Monopoly Walking Dead game. That's interesting. All right, we got more cups and stuff. More stuff here, drinks, box water, better. It's just random stuff. Some of the magnets they sell here, guys. Pretty cool. What's your name, man?
I'm Elijah Wood.
Elijah Wood. Okay, so is that your actual name?
Yeah.
Okay, wow. I just met him. That's the crazy part.
Oh.
I'm from Orlando. I met him at MegaCon.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for Lord of the Rings and all
Right,
that. Okay,
right.
sweet. 2 quick questions. What is the railroad there? Like, what is this? Like, what was it used for?
So the railroad that's here in Woodbury in Senoia, Georgia, was used for when they were traveling to Terminus. So that whole stretch, like the 20-mile stretch from here onwards, was used when Rick and Michonne and them were traveling to Terminus.
Sweet. And lastly, what is your favorite season? Mine's 1. Well, go
My
ahead.
favorite season? I agree with you. 1 is probably the best season because while a lot of the other seasons you're like dealing with a lot of people, the actual fear of the walkers and like just trying to survive, I don't know, that just makes it my favorite.
Sweet. All right, that was super cool. Picked up a shirt for me and Melissa. Gonna show you Main Street where they shot a couple seasons, and then I'm gonna show you the railroad. Okay, here's the downtown area that was used. And guys, again, I can't stop now and film all of this, but yeah, this is it. This is the area of the Main Street that was used for Walking Dead season 2 and 3, I believe he said. We're gonna make our way over to the train tracks. And a fun fact, 2 other films were made here. Sweet Home Alabama 2002, and also portions of the movie Driving Miss Daisy with Morgan Freeman. So that's cool. This is all of the Main Street here. Let me see if I can get over here, get a better shot. Nice little town, rural Georgia. You can go down there, come over here. Come over here, there's the water tower up there, just behind the building. That's cool. Train tracks. Got a cool overhanging bridge there. I'm gonna walk over there and yeah, see what there is. It looks pretty wooded. So actually, it was filmed that way, this way, because that way is closed. The tracks end. They may have been operational. They may have been there 16, 17 years ago when the show was happening. But either way, a super cool location. I actually want to go back to that bridge. So I'm gonna walk. Let me see where I can walk because there's a bunch of rocks everywhere, so I don't want to twist my ankle again. You know what? I'm gonna walk on these boards right here on the track. So yeah, this is super cool, man. And you know, one thing I've learned, my dream one day is to make at least a movie or a show or something. I've learned the importance of scouting locations for sure. Because you take 2 great shows, all-time shows like Stranger Things and The Walking Dead, you know, like they don't have to film an hour apart. You know, they can just film right where everything is at and just do it all in one spot and say, all right, well, but they don't. They went the extra mile. They pushed themselves, and the result was creating 2 of the greatest shows ever. So Either way, guys, thank you for watching. This is gonna do it for today. It's a fun trip. Basically, I took a almost 2 days, but it was really just one night, 2 days here in Atlanta and the surrounding towns. Had a lot of fun, you know, finding these locations, seeing them. One of the fun parts before I go is like you're going there, you're like, okay, am I gonna see this? And then bam, it's there in front of you. It's pretty cool. So thank you. Please like, subscribe, share this video on your social media. I appreciate every view, every subscriber. I'll see you on the next one.